Well, it looks like somebody learned an important lesson today. Never ever ask for an extra bag of airline peanuts. They don't take too kindly to that. If you're really that fucking hungry, bring a snack on board yourself. Now, for those of you watching who are in public relations or business management, I want you to pay particular attention because this is how not to market your company. This is a step-by-step instructional video showing you the absolute wrong thing to do if you don't want people to hate you. Now, United Airlines, you may remember them as the airline that breaks musical instruments for fun. You know, they like to do that. Oh, you want to stow your really expensive guitar in the cargo hold? Fuck you. We're going to turn it to kindling. Maybe you can have a nice Christmas fire with that, but you're never going to sing a tune again. Why? Because we're United, and we hate musicians. Well, United decided that they wanted to go from breaking instruments to breaking faces. It's a nice little transition into the current year. Breathe a little new life into the company. Create a nice new ad campaign around it. Fly United, because if you don't, we're going to kick your fucking ass. So our story begins on a United Airlines flight, where 4 standby passengers who happen to be employees of the airline decided they wanted to get on. Only problem, flight's overbooked. So what does United decide to do? Do they hire a car to drive the employees? Do they put them on another plane? Nope. Instead, they ask passengers to voluntarily give up their seats for the employees. Oh, hey, I know you pre-planned that vacation months in advance and spent hundreds of dollars securing your place on this airplane. But fuck you, Ted from Baggage Handling really needs to get to the next stop. Maybe your family can stay at an American Inn in Detroit. I don't really give a shit. I'm United Airlines. I broke your guitar, fuck you. And wouldn't you know it, the customers weren't exactly thrilled with the proposition. Hey, anybody want to volunteer to get fucked out of what they paid for? What, no takers? So the airline decided to choose for them. They randomly went up to people and said, hey, guess what? Fuck you, get off the plane. Now, the first 3 people did. The last one did not. And how'd that turn out for him? Well, let's look at the video.
Can't they run a car for the pilots and have them drive?
Oh my God!
Hey, it's close. Come on. Come on. There you go.
Oh, this is
Busted his
wrong.
lip.
Oh my God! Look at what you did to him! Oh my God!
That's the United Airlines experience I'm talking about. Who doesn't want to fly this airline? In fact, there's another angle of this where you can see his face get slammed into an armrest. I'm guessing that's what ended up giving him a bloody mouth.
Can't they run a car for the pilots and have them drive? Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh my God! No!
Oh my
Guys,
God!
my God! What are you doing? No, this is wrong. Oh my God! Look at what you did to him!
Yeah, that right there. That part right there. So here you have a paying customer who's booked on a flight, who is essentially beaten and dragged off the flight because United Airlines overbooked and they wanted their employees to be able to fly. That is remarkable. But it gets even better because United just can't fuck up a little bit. No, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's just go balls to the walls with this one. A United employee first approached a couple that appeared to be in their mid-20s, Mr. Bridges said, and the pair begrudgingly got off the plane. Then the United employee went to a man 5 rows behind Mr. Bridges and told him he needed to get off the plane. The man told the employee, "I'm not getting off the plane, I'm a doctor, and I have to see patients in the morning." We explained the scenario to the customer. That customer chose not to get out of his seat. The situation became uncomfortable for the United employees, who then got on board and took the vacated seat. They were berated by passengers and told they should be ashamed. Oh God, I feel so bad for the United employees who stole paying customers' seats and got a man beaten and thrown off a plane. I hope their feelings weren't hurt. I hope the tears didn't sting as much as that man getting his face broken. A doctor that needs to get home to see patients, and they drag him off a plane so Todd from Baggage Handling can get to his destination. Of course, because this is United. They can't just leave it there. No, they've got to anger even more people by releasing this statement. United CEO responds to United Express Flight 3411. This is an upsetting event to all of us here at United. I apologize for having to re-accommodate these customers. Our team is moving with a sense of urgency to work with the authorities and conduct our own detailed review of what happened. We are also reaching out to the passenger to talk to him directly and further address and resolve this situation. Re-accommodate. That is a really nice way of spinning, get your ass beaten and dragged off a plane. Hey, I'd like to re-accommodate you after I smashed your face in and stole your money. Is that okay, champ? I mean, we're all good here. Here's a couple of coupons. Take a free weekend flight on me. Not really the apology people were looking for. Came off more like...
Sorry.
So you could imagine, people got a little bit upset. They're getting hammered on social media right now because people are rightly afraid that if they buy a ticket for United Airlines flight, they could be beaten and thrown off a plane. They could just be told to get off, even though they booked months in advance, even though they paid hundreds of dollars. They can just be forced off a plane, and if they refuse, if they put up a fight, or if they just outright say no, the police will come in and physically, violently drag you off that plane. And United seems to have no idea why people are upset about this, and their non-apology isn't reaching anyone. Remarkably, our little Asian doctor didn't let it get him down. Somehow, fucking somehow, after being beaten and dragged off the plane by law enforcement, he got back on.
I have to go home. 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 I have to...
You know what? This needs a better soundtrack.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad 'cause I'm brown.
That's what I'm talking about. Just remarkable. He really threaded the needle on that one. Airport security, the TSA, all those anti-terrorism checkpoints, and this dude who had a confrontation with the police and was dragged off a plane got back on it. He must be like a ninja doctor, some kind of Naruto shit going on. I don't know what kind of hidden jutsu he used, but he figured out a way. So, call me crazy here, but if I'm running a business where customers are paying for a service, I think, there are a few bullet points you want to keep in mind in that scenario. One would be, don't rob your customers. If they pay you money, give them what they're paying you for. And the other stickler, the other one high up on that list, just right below it, don't beat them. Don't physically beat them and then steal what you just sold them. Those two things really good to keep in mind. I know United doesn't give a shit. They're just going to go back to breaking guitars and hitting people in the face. So good job, United. Every step of the way along this entire event, you chose the wrong thing to do repeatedly. You overbook a flight. You force passengers who paid off of that flight. You physically beat a man and drag him off an airplane, and then release a statement saying, "Oops, our bad, sorry we overbooked, we'll try to re-accommodate you." Way to not take any responsibility. Way to not actually address what you did. You could have just come out and said, "We fucked up." But of course not. Of course not. When would a company ever do that? Even when there's video evidence of them fucking up on a monumental level. So GG, because you've just given every public relations and business management student an abject lesson in what not to do.